to Daily Dictation. This week we're talking all about the topic of urban life. This video is for low intermediate English speakers and it's aimed to help you practice your English skills. So to practice your English skills, what we're going to do in this video is I will read 5 sentences to you, and each sentence will be about living in the city, urban life, things like that. We'll get also a list of vocabulary words. The vocabulary words are also about living in a city or urban life, and these are really good if you're trying to study for IELTS, improve your daily English, and study for TOEFL or any kind of proficiency exam, because this is a topic that actually comes up quite often in those exams. And so what we're going to do is, as I read these sentences to you, you will write them down to the best of your ability. So you will have to practice your listening skills, you will have to practice your grammar, your writing, your spelling, all of these things in this video. There are videos every day. So there are new daily dictation videos from Monday to Friday. There are new sentences each weekday, new topics each week. There are 2 English levels offered. There's a vocabulary list and a practice worksheet available. So the instructions for the exercise of daily dictation, you will need a blank piece of paper and a pencil. You can also have a blank document that you can type in if that is easier for you. 5 sentences will be read. Each sentence will be read 3 times and 1 more time at the end. You have to write down each sentence, so you will have to use your listening skills. Try your best to apply the correct spelling, punctuation, and capitalization. Let's get started. So you see numbers 1 through 5 on the screen. Each number represents a different sentence that will be read, so I will read 5 sentences starting with sentence number 1. Number 1. The traffic downtown was terrible, so they decided to take the subway instead. The traffic downtown was terrible, so they decided to take the subway instead. The traffic downtown was terrible, so they decided to take the subway instead. Number 2. A crowd formed quickly outside the new skyscraper as people lined up to go inside. A crowd formed quickly outside the new skyscraper as people lined up to go inside. A crowd formed quickly outside the new skyscraper as people lined up to go inside. Number 3. The noise from the busy street made it hard to relax in their apartment. The noise from the busy street made it hard to relax in their apartment. The noise from the busy street made it hard to relax in their apartment. Number 4. She enjoyed running in the park to get away from downtown. She enjoyed running in the park to get away from downtown. She enjoyed running in the park to get away from downtown. Number 5. After a long day of shopping at the mall, they took a taxi home to their apartment. After a long day of shopping at the mall, they took a taxi home to their apartment. After a long day of shopping at the mall, they took a taxi home to their apartment. I will read each sentence one more time, starting with sentence number 1. The traffic downtown was terrible, so they decided to take the subway instead. Number 2. A crowd formed quickly outside the new skyscraper as people lined up to go inside. Number 3. The noise from the busy street made it hard to relax in their apartment. Number 4. She enjoyed running in the park to get away from downtown. Number 5. After a long day of shopping at the mall, they took a taxi home to their apartment. So, how did we do? Let's go ahead and get ready to check our answers. I'm sure everybody did great, but if you found that it was a little bit too fast and too difficult, I recommend that you listen again, and when you listen a second time, you can adjust the playback speed through the settings in the video to make it go slower. You can also check the description for timestamps. This will help you listen to specific sentence numbers again. Just click on the time and it will bring you back to that time in the video for that sentence number. If you feel like you got everything, then let's go ahead and check our answers. We'll start with number 1. The traffic downtown was terrible, so they decided to take the subway instead. Number 2. A crowd formed quickly outside the new skyscraper as people lined up to go inside. Number 3. The noise from the busy street made it hard to relax in their apartment. Number 4. She enjoyed running in the park to get away from downtown. Number 5. After a long day of shopping at the mall, they took a taxi home to their apartment. So, how did we do? I'm hoping by now, this is the 5th video this week. Hopefully by now, it's kind of automatic that we start each sentence with a capital and end it with a period. This is one of the easiest things to remember for English grammar and capitalization and punctuation. Now, the more difficult thing in English grammar and punctuation is commas. And we see 2 sentences with commas here. So let's look at sentence number 1. We have the traffic downtown was terrible, so they decided to take the subway instead. Here, we have what's called a coordinating conjunction. That is the word so. So is called a coordinating conjunction because it combines 2 independent clauses. What is an independent clause? An independent clause is a clause that can stand alone. So it makes sense by itself. So, for example, the traffic downtown was terrible. You could put a period there. Then you can eliminate the word so, and then imagine it's not there. The traffic downtown was terrible. They decided to take the subway instead. So for this, you can have 2 sentences. That's fine. However, when we use a coordinating conjunction, we combine these sentences by putting the coordinating conjunction in the middle. And right before you put the coordinating conjunction, you put a comma. And this is a little bit more advanced. So if you want to practice more advanced writing, you can combine 2 sentences with a coordinating conjunction. Now, number 5, we do not have a coordinating conjunction because we actually do not have 2 independent clauses. Up here, we have 2 independent clauses. Down here, we don't. Down here, we have a dependent clause, then an independent clause. So here, we start with the word after. This is our conjunction, after. And this conjunction shows that we are starting with a dependent clause because it's right at the beginning here. And after the dependent clause is done, we're going to put a comma. Now, a signal to this is that we're going into an independent clause. We know that we're going into an independent clause because we have this kind of structure. We have a subject and then a verb. They took, right in the middle of a sentence. So we have a subject and a verb right in the middle of a sentence. We have nothing in the middle here. then we know that we are going to put a comma before the subject. So this one is an especially difficult rule to remember because if we have the same sentence except we change our order of clauses, so first we have the independent clause, then we have the dependent clause. For example, they took a taxi home to their apartment after a long day of shopping at the mall. If we have it like this, it makes total sense, but we don't need a comma anymore. When the conjunction comes in the middle and it's independent plus dependent, we don't need a comma. This is what makes remembering commas so difficult because we have so many rules. Other than that, everything should have been relatively simple. These are all words that we've been learning. And if you found them difficult, continue to practice, continue to learn. Now, to continue to practice the words specific to this topic, here is the list to review. Traffic, crowd, skyscraper, subway, noise, apartment, park, taxi, mall, downtown. So to get more comfortable with these words, go to the link in the description and you can get a list of these words plus their definitions, example sentences. You get a fill in the blank exercise. You also get an essay question and you get a reading comprehension question as well as a quiz. So lots of ways for you to continue to exercise your understanding of these words. These words are really important because they do come up in a lot of proficiency exams like IELTS, like TOEFL, or other exams such as that, CELPIP if you are in Canada. Really, really important to be familiar with these words because they are used in daily English really often. Other than that, we are all finished for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you keep on trying your best and keep on practicing your English, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.